Welcome to my YouTube Family Revenge File. Please like, share, and subscribe.
My own son looked me in the eyes while garbage bags filled with everything I owned sat on the front lawn. His wife crossed her arms and smiled. "We don't need you anymore. Go away." Not one neighbor said a word. Not one family member defended me. I quietly picked up my phone, made a single call, and walked away without arguing. 72 hours later, my son was calling every hospital. My daughter-in-law was crying on television. And the same people who threw me away were desperately searching for me across the country. They wanted forgiveness, but by then, it was already too late. Stay with me, because what happened over those next 3 days changed every one of their lives forever. People always assume betrayal comes from strangers. They imagine scams, criminals, or dishonest business partners, but the deepest betrayals usually happen around the dinner table. My name is Richard. I'm 68 years old, a retired civil engineer, widowed for 6 years, and the father of one son, Daniel. After my wife passed away, the house became painfully quiet. Daniel insisted I move in with him and his wife, Melissa. He told me family takes care of family. He promised I would never be alone again. For the first few months, everything seemed wonderful. I babysat my grandchildren, cooked dinner, repaired the house, paid utility bills whenever they struggled, and even helped Daniel with money when his business slowed down. I never asked for anything. Slowly, things changed. Melissa began treating me like I was a burden. She complained that I used too much electricity. She complained about my medicine. She even complained when I hugged my grandchildren because she said I was spoiling them. Daniel stopped defending me. Instead, he stayed silent. Silence became agreement. Months later, Melissa convinced Daniel that they needed my bedroom for a home office. I was moved into the basement. Then they started asking me to pay rent. I agreed because I didn't want conflict. Then the rent increased. Soon I realized they weren't treating me like family anymore. I had become an unwanted tenant. One Saturday morning, I returned from visiting my wife's grave. Everything I owned, every photograph, every piece of clothing, every memory, had been thrown into black garbage bags outside. Melissa stood on the porch. "We're done taking care of you." Daniel couldn't even look me in the eyes. Then he quietly said, "Maybe it's better if you leave." Those words hurt more than anything. Not because I was homeless, but because they came from my own son. I didn't scream. I didn't threaten them. I simply smiled. I reached into my pocket, unlocked my phone, and called an old friend named Michael. We had worked together for nearly 30 years. He answered immediately. I only said one sentence. "It's time." He replied, "I've been waiting for your call." I left. No arguments. No revenge. No tears. 3 days later, everything exploded. Daniel's bank froze several business transactions. The family company suddenly changed ownership. The investment property they believed belonged to them had never legally been transferred. Every legal document still listed me as the controlling owner. Years earlier, my attorney had warned me never to transfer everything while I was alive. I listened. Daniel had assumed my silence meant weakness. Instead, it meant patience. Within hours, collection notices arrived. The luxury SUV was repossessed. Credit lines disappeared. Business partners backed away after discovering Daniel had exaggerated his financial position. Suddenly, the comfortable lifestyle they enjoyed began collapsing. That same afternoon, Daniel called me 32 times. I never answered. Melissa sent dozens of desperate messages. She apologized. She blamed stress. She blamed money. She blamed everyone except herself. For the first time, they understood what losing family actually felt like. Meanwhile, I checked into a peaceful retirement community recommended by Michael. The staff welcomed me like family. Nobody saw me as a burden. Nobody counted how much electricity I used. Nobody complained when I smiled. 1 week later, Daniel finally found me. He arrived exhausted. His expensive clothes were wrinkled. His confidence was gone. He fell to his knees. "Dad, please come home." I looked at him quietly. Then I asked one question. "When your children grow up, would you want them to treat you the way you treated me?" He couldn't answer. The silence said everything. I told him money was never the real issue. Respect was. Love was. Loyalty was. When those disappear, no amount of wealth can replace them. Months passed. Daniel slowly accepted responsibility. He entered counseling. He apologized without making excuses. Not once, not twice, many times. Melissa eventually admitted that greed had poisoned their marriage. Trust wasn't rebuilt overnight. It took years. Today I still love my son. Love doesn't disappear because someone hurts you. But forgiveness does not erase consequences. I never moved back. I built a peaceful life surrounded by people who valued kindness more than convenience. Sometimes the greatest revenge isn't destroying someone, It's refusing to let their cruelty destroy you. If you're watching this while caring for an aging parent, remember this. One day, the roles will reverse. The hands that once carried you may someday need your help. Treat them with dignity while you still can, because when respect is thrown away, it rarely comes back. And sometimes, one quiet phone call changes everything forever.